Calling All Authors, the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, hosted by Robert A. Lane, is on the air, featuring everything you need to know about narrating your own audiobook. But it doesn't stop there. From special guests, including authors and professionals from the book industry, to sharing tools and techniques needed to be a confident and compelling narrator. The journey starts now. So please welcome your host, Robert A. Lane.
All right. Gave you a little sneak peek of the special guests that we have here on today's podcast. Welcome to the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. I'm Robert A. Lane. Thank you so much for tuning in, and super excited to have a very, very special guest who is an author, an educator, who's done teaching, who's done coaching, who does this great thing with small groups, which we're going to talk about because there's some meditation that's involved and just other great things. And then, of course, this great book that we're going to be talking about in just a second. So I'd like to welcome to the show, Nancy. I want to make sure that I pronounce your last name correctly. Is
Oelklaus.
Oelklaus.
That's correct.
Love it. Okay, Oelklaus.
It's not the German pronunciation, but it's the one that most of us can deal with.
That makes sense. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Live the life you truly, excuse me, that you truly want. Is that your latest publication?
That's the last one, yes.
And so now you've published several books. I believe you have 6 books that are out right now?
Right.
So what started you to want to write these books? What was the drive that said, you know what, I have something to tell?
I started coaching in Austin, Texas in about the year 2000. I simultaneously, my husband went into rehab for alcoholism, and he asked me if I would go to the same program because I had grown up in an alcoholic home. So we had both learned some very dysfunctional patterns, and I was thrilled to do it. And all of a sudden, this whole new world opened up to me. And a lot of the tools that I wrote about in my very first book were things that I had actually learned in that rehabilitation program, and I credited those that I borrowed. And then some I had learned from neuroscience, from working with a few clients, and I had a weekend retreat with 2 young women who asked me to take them on retreat and to share with me what I knew. So, I mean, to share with them. Mm-hmm. So as I did that, one of these young women said, you know, if you would just write a book, we would have it all in one place that we could refer back to. And I said, what a great idea. So that's what I did.
So did you grow up in Texas? Is that where you're?
No, I grew up in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, okay.
Lawton, Oklahoma.
And then, but you did spend a lot of time in Texas. I know you taught English, right? High school English?
I moved to Texas the year I married for the first time in 1965. And yes, I taught English. Fairly quickly, I went into administration. And when I left there in the early 1990s, I was assistant superintendent for instruction.
And so when it came to starting your coaching career, what was the transition? Or what caused you to go from teaching then over to coaching?
Well, I went actually from school administration into association leadership. I was the executive director of the state's largest curriculum and instruction organization in the state of Texas. So it was based in Austin. And in that capacity, I started doing some leadership development. And by this time, I had married my second husband. He was a coach.
Okay.
And he was experimenting with some things and taking me with him to conferences. And I was trying out some of his information on our clients, especially I'm thinking about a small group of principals that I was working with. And in one of those principals, we saw breakthrough dramatic change. In fact, his superintendent called and said, "What are you doing? I've never seen anything like this." So that I was hooked at that point. And I said, the political situation in Texas is not fun. So I'm going to quit and do this full time, which is what I did.
So your coaching was developmental, or I mean, was it a combination of even, is it more like personal coaching, career coaching, developmental, with personal and maybe business?
It is really hard to give coaching a label.
I agree.
You get into a session with someone and all of a sudden they pull up something very personal and it has to be addressed.
Yeah.
And so what I did was use everything in my bag of tricks, everything I had learned to help them. And one of the things that helped me as much as anything was learning about systems thinking and systems dynamics and energy.
Okay.
So if someone was telling me about some energy that was coming at them that they did not want, then my job was to hold the mirror up and discover where that was coming from within them.
Right.
Without offending them or blaming them but just to get a deeper understanding of the dynamics between people.
That's really an interesting point that you brought up, because that is something that even when I'm helping authors narrating their own audiobook, a lot of times, and I hear this quite often, is that, I hate my voice. I hate how I sound. No one's going to want to listen to me. I don't have what it takes. And there's all this, negative. Yeah, right. No.
No.
And so it's like it's almost something similar to what you're talking about in regards to stripping away the layers and what is the root cause of why do you feel that way? Is there something that caused you to have this feeling? And a lot of times it is. Sometimes it's something that happened way back in the past. Maybe it's something that's recent. A lot of people are nervous to speak in public, for example, or maybe putting a microphone in front of them makes them really nervous. So it's like, well, where is that coming from? And then to take those fears and let's put them aside and let's replace them, because you want to rewire that subconscious with positive beliefs and affirmations and knowing that you can do this.
Well, the greatest challenge of that is not to tell them, but to ask questions in such a way that they feel safe to discover it on their own.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But you have hit on one of the key reasons why I wrote this book. It's actually a compilation of things I wrote over many years. But I was invited out to lunch. Actually, I was by myself at lunch, and I walked into the restaurant. A friend of mine was there. She said, "Well, come join us. There'll be one more person." Well, then there was a fourth person, and so we were there. It was fine. And as I walked away from the lunch conversation, one of the women had just returned from a trip to Africa. Now, trip to Africa is some people's trip of a lifetime. But here's what I had heard and remembered about her trip to Africa. The airplane they flew in from place to place was overly crowded. It was very uncomfortable and cramped. Someone else on the trip had failed to bring enough bills in small enough denominations to give as tips.
Oh.
And so she changed a $100 bill for that person. And then the next time she tipped someone, inadvertently, she tipped them $100. And the last thing I remember is it was migration season and animals were dying in the water.
Oh. Oh.
And I thought, oh my God, that's what she has. So what we get into this spiral of negative talk
Yeah.
when we have a choice. And so this book is about making a choice that is emotionally healthy for us and the people around us.
So, Live the Life You Truly Want.
Yeah.
It's a great title for a book because it's something that we just should do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that brings me to wanting to find out more about these groups that that you've put together and the process, and you utilize your book, correct?
I do.
So how does that all work?
It's wonderful. It's so much fun. It's a small group. That's
Okay.
very important. For certainly no more than 5
Mm-hmm.
people. And here's what we do. I brought the protocol right here. I start with the question, what's going on with us? And everybody just kind of checks in. And once we get that established, we do a heart meditation. Now, this is a meditation that I developed, and it's designed to get us out of our heads and into our hearts. Slow down our breathing. And so then after we spend about 5 minutes in that heart meditation, then we move into the book. So we randomly open the book
Just to any
and
page.
read any page. And sometimes I read it, sometimes somebody else reads it. It doesn't really matter. But I marked one today because this is one I want to read for you.
Okay.
And here's how it goes. It's short. If you're one of those people who, my phone is ringing, is it going to catch that?
It will.
It'll stop. Sorry.
Well, it's background music.
Hmm?
It's background music.
Stop already. If you're one of those people who often use the phrase, I struggle with, I'm writing to you. You may have a way of thinking that makes you feel that if you're not struggling with something, you're not fully alive. People caught in this trap are always looking for something to struggle with. From the energy exerted through the struggle, they get a high. There is an alternative. This summer, I met a man who has macular degeneration with only a little peripheral vision left. This man has had a lot of success in his life, and he didn't want his blindness to diminish the quality of his life. He made the decision to embrace his loss of vision, even have fun with it. He went to school to learn how to be blind. He says, don't help me unless I ask. With a super magnifying tool, he plays dominoes. He hangs out with the guys and loves good stories. This man has reached a deep level of acceptance of things he cannot change. He embraced what others might call misfortune and made a decision to learn with it. And then I raised the question to share with the group, what in your life are you struggling with? If you decided to make friends with it, what would you do?
That's really good.
And then, of course, the conversation ensues.
Right. I mean, it's like someone can say, "Oh, I struggle with money. I struggle to try to pay rent or mortgage or bills, every month, and I'm just tired of struggling. So what would you suggest to help them change that mindset?
Well, after we've heard from everybody, then we write an intention.
Oh, okay.
It's short and power-packed and memorable. And so for this particular passage, it might be something as simple as a saying I remember from Al-Anon: we accept the things we cannot change.
Yeah, that is so true.
In fact, we could even say we embrace the things we cannot change.
I like that. I like that a lot. Matter of fact, sometimes I talk about, fears, about dealing with fear. And, there's this little catchphrase, face and embrace it, purge it, replace it, right? So facing the fear is basically acknowledging that there's this fear. Now I say embrace, and I'm glad you said that, because, you hear this all the time. You got to confront your fears. Confront is confrontation. That's aggressive. That I look at as a negative. Embrace is positive.
Right.
And that, I love that you said that. I love that you used that word to describe.
And once we have written that intention and have it so that everybody says it feels right, then we spend 5 minutes in meditation on that intention to let it soak in.
Yeah.
So that it's not just a slogan that we're going to flip off, but we're letting it sink in.
Yeah.
And then there's a final sharing with any realization or sensation they had during that 5 minutes.
Yeah, I love that, because you say, you're letting it sink in, and it's like you need to say it until you feel it, and then once you feel it, then your subconscious will believe you. Because if you don't feel it and you're just saying it, it's just words.
And my experience with these groups is that the people who participate experience change, but it's not sudden. It's slow, incremental, lasting.
Yeah, that's really great. That's great. I love that you're doing this, and it's a great way to utilize this wonderful book that you've written, and to be able to put it in practical use.
Exactly.
And I love that you're doing that.
Exactly.
And so it's more than just, oh, here's a read and then you put it down. No, there is something to learn from this, and like you say, embrace this.
Right. And Robert, people don't have to have me to do a group. They can form their own group.
Yeah.
And go through the process. Or we can Zoom it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there are so many wonderful different alternatives to experience that kind of transformation for people who are ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we getting close to the time, we got a few minutes, but I do want to just, can you just go through the books that you have done, or all of them up to this one?
Oh boy.
Or
Okay.
just like a quick little, I wrote this and that kind of led to this one and then this one. Not to put you on the spot.
I should have made a list. The very first book was Journey from Head to Heart, Living and Working Authentically. And then I wrote a book in between that was privately published by the H-E-B Grocery Foundation in Texas. That was kind of a photograph of the outstanding school districts in the state that had won the H-E-B Excellence in Education Award. Then following that came Alphabet Meditations for Teachers.
Oh, nice.
Little poems.
Cool.
And then came Simple Serenity, which can be used in very much the same way that this book can be used.
And what's in that book?
Simple.
Again,
Look
it's
at this,
a collection
and
of.
you see another version.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
a collection of reflections,
Okay.
design. People use it well, they've used it for discussion groups. I've been told by at least 3 other people that in different parts of the country that they have used that book as a launch pad for their small group discussion.
Oh, great.
Then after that, my husband died,
Oh.
and I was devastated. And I wanted to write our story. And so I wrote a love story. The Transformational Power of the 12 Steps is the subtitle. And it contains both the story itself, but also my grief process following his death. And then I thought I wouldn't write anymore, and this one came along. So that's it. I think that's all of it.
That's great. I really, again, am really impressed that you are taking this book and really utilizing it by doing these groups. And hopefully people will be, inspired to start their groups and use this as just a template.
Right.
And to go through that process of getting grounded, getting in the now, in the present moment, getting yourself focused, and asking those questions, and then reflecting, and then that's really great. So I wish you huge success, more success with this book. Now, where can people get in touch with you? Do you have a website, or is there some place?
I have a website, NancyOelklaus.com.
NancyOelklaus.com.
Pretty simple.
Very to the point. And that website will be in the description for wherever you're listening to this podcast or seeing this podcast. The website will be there, so please check it out. And you'll be able to check out this book. This is a really fantastic book. Live the life you truly want.
That's it.
Live the life you truly want. I mean, that says it all. Right? And we should be living the life that we truly want to live.
We can.
We absolutely can. Absolutely can. Is there any new books in the horizon?
No.
Okay.
Emphatic no right now. They tell me I should never shut the door, but right now it feels like no.
Okay. And that's fair. That's, that's a fair assessment. Any thoughts of maybe turning any of the other books into audiobooks? I know you had a couple from the other publisher. But.
Yeah, there's several that are available on audiobooks. I think the value of this book and really the previous one, Simple Serenity, is just one short passage at a time.
Oh, okay, I see.
And so it doesn't really lend itself to an audiobook. At least it doesn't feel that way to me right now. Okay. But I've been known to change.
You never know. You never know. Well, thank you, Nancy. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. Again, I love what you're doing. This book it's got a lot of great information, and just I love, and again, embrace. That's the word to take away, I think, today. Is just embrace the fact that you can live the life that you truly want.
Thank you, Robert. This was fun.
It's been a blast. I'm so glad that you came in, and I love having people here in studio. So I don't get to do that often, but it's great to have authors come in and be able to see them and talk to them in person. So I love that. This is the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. I'm Robert A. Lane. I do appreciate you tuning in. We're here every week at the same time. By the way, you know that I do this after every, or maybe you don't, but I'm going to tell you now. I'm giving you an assignment, and that assignment is this. When you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger. Say hello to them. Give them a compliment. Because that small gesture of kindness can make the world a difference in somebody's life. We don't know what people are going through. Maybe somebody's just having a bad day, or maybe it is something deeply rooted. And a little smile and a little hello, even a compliment, can really make somebody feel good. So spread some positivity. Again, thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much again for being here on the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. We'll be talking to you on the next episode. Take care, my friends.
This has been Your Book, Your Voice with host Robert A. Lane. Tune in each week for another powerful and informative episode. And remember, only you can narrate your story the way it's meant to be heard.